Before we begin today's journey, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast forest where silence speaks. The wind carries ancient prayers, and the mountains stand like timeless guardians. Here, the rivers don't just flow, they whisper. The trees do not merely sway, they remember. Today's episode is just a travel story. It's a walk into the mysticism, a journey from the ordinary to the divine, a step into the wild heart of Dooars, where nature and spirituality blend into one breathtaking harmony. Welcome to today's episode of the Brahman Khosra, the travel journal. Let me take you to the Jayantis, the whisper of wilderness. The Dooars had already embraced me with its endless tea gardens and misty horizons. After 3 days of long, tiring work at the estate, Sunday came as a welcome breather. And what a better way to spend it than heading deep into the forest towards one of the most mystical spots of the region, Chhota Mahakal of the Jayanti. The morning began simple. A hearty breakfast, a cheerful banter with my colleagues, and soon we were on the move. Our regular cars took us only so far. At a forest junction, the tarmac ended and the adventure began. We shifted into the open gypsy, the ideal ride for the wide terrain ahead. The road disappeared into a bed of boulders and dry river sand. The mighty Jayanti River, with its glistening pebbles and restless flow, became our path. On both sides, the lush forests of the Boxer Tiger Reserve rose in two rolling hills, green and majestic. The gypsy jolted and bounced over the rocks, splashing through the swallow stream. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of whetstone and forest earth. It was less of a drive and more of a roller coaster ride through the night. After a thrilling drive, we reached a point where the gypsies stopped. From here, the journey continued on the foot. We followed a trail along the riverbed. Small wooden bridges crossed the flowing streams, prayers and flags fluttered in the wind, and the sound of water echoed against the hill. The walk itself felt like an initiation into something sacred. The river Jayanti was alive, sparkling, foaming, singing in its own rhythm. As it tumbled over the rocks, every turn offered a postcard view. Emerald slopes, silver waters, and occasional splash of the bright flags marking the pilgrim route. As we climbed, the ardent steps crept into the hillside. Anticipation grew. Finally, we arrived at the Mahakal Cave Shrine, where, naturally from Shivalinga, rests deep within. The cave carried a mystical aura, the damp stone walls echoing chants, the fragrance of the incense, and the timeless silence of the mountains. It felt like stepping into another world where the time has slowed and only faith remained. After seeking the blessings at the shrine, we made our way down. The climb down was lighter, but our hearts fuller. By the river bank, we found a giant boulder painted with the image of the Lord Shiva, serene, meditative, eternal, sitting there with the river flowing by and the mountains towering above. One could feel why this is called the Adobe of the gods. Hunger eventually called us back. We settled into one of the bamboo stalls by the river. The food was simple, rustic, and most likely cooked with the fairy waters of the Jayanti. But in that setting, it tasted heavenly. The Mahakal was just a trip. It was an adventure, a pilgrimage, and an escape all rolled into one. The jungles of Dooars, the Jayanti River, and the shrine of the Shiva etched themselves into the memory as a reminder of how beautifully wild and spiritual this land is. So, this was all from today's episode of the Brahman Khosra. See you again in another episode, another place, and let the prayers be with you. This is Anubhav signing off for today. Stay healthy, stay safe.